Lazaric Homestead. Real people. Real living.
Look at my breakfast, y'all. Last night I made this chicken pasta soup, and I loved it so much I'm having a bowl for breakfast. It's literally 8:05 in the morning. This was the only piece that was left, and I woke up with a stuffy head. I'm probably catching what Chris had. But I'm like, you know what? A nice hot bowl of soup to start my morning. And I have some heavy cream left, and I have that other package of chicken that I had opened because I thought I was going to need 2 packages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another batch of this today with the rest of that cream and the chicken without these ditalini noodles. And I am going to freeze it in my silicone trays today. So I will take you along so you can see that process. I did a video a little while back, where I showed you, I saw these silicone trays that they're called super trays. And I ordered some on Amazon, and they've come in so handy. They portion them out. They have 2 cups and 1 cup measures. So I'm going to use what I have and make a big batch of this soup without the pasta, because I just don't want the pasta to get mush. And then when I pull one out, I can throw a handful of rice in it, or orzo, or more ditalini in there, and have just a single portion. If I'm just in the mood, I'm home by myself and I want a single portion. Or I want to take out a couple and just make enough for everybody. But yeah, this soup was that good that I will be doing that today. And I'm going to add some celery to it. And probably a little more corn. I think I might have a small can of corn downstairs. I have to go look. But this was so good, in my opinion, that I'm willing to make a big batch of it to freeze. I just got to go find some freezer space. So I'm going to eat this, and I'm going to get started on that so that I have time to cool it and all that and get it in the freezer and use up some stuff that I have out that needs to be used up. But this was so good, guys. So good. And it's perfect when you're not feeling good. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Lee from Lazaric Homestead. And it is literally 9:05 in the morning. But I'm not feeling great. I think I'm catching whatever Chris had. Still has. But I have some stuff left over, like the heavy whipping cream and some chicken that I took out for last night's recipe for that chicken pasta soup. And I liked it so much that I am going to make another batch, but I'm going to put it in my super freezer cubes and freeze batches, like in 2 cup measures and 1 cup measures, so that I can vac seal them and put them in the freezer like I did with my pasta fagioli soup base, because it was that good. I literally just had some for breakfast at 8 o'clock. So it's good. It is that good. For me to do that and make a big batch, then you know it's good. So follow me along, because I'm going to put them in the super cubes and throw them in the freezer so you can see it from beginning to end. And I'll even vac seal them so you can see how I do that. And that's great for leftovers, especially something like this soup, because on a nice day or a cold day when I'm not feel like cooking, I can pull out one of those packages and just make enough for me if it's just me for lunch. So follow along, guys. Okay, so I cut up an onion. I'm going to cut up some celery, but I dumped a box of the chicken stock, and I added 2 more cups of water because I'm going to make a little extra broth. So it's 6 cups, and I'm going to supplement with, now that I've already made it, I know what I need to do. So we're going to just add 2 tablespoons of this to give it that extra flavor. And we're gonna stir that up. It was so good, guys. I don't usually make, like the next day, make extra, but I have all that chicken right here. And I also had taken these shortcuts out about a week ago and nobody's eating them, so I'm going to cut that up. I only have a cup of the cream, the heavy whipping cream, so that's all I'm going to use. But I'm sure it's still going to taste good. So we're going to get that put over aside. I'm going to cut up my diced tomatoes, and I left the broth. I found some other recipes today while I was eating my breakfast from In the Kitchen with Mama Bell. So I printed those out. I'll be doing those. And I think I found one from Jessica O'Donoghue too. So just cutting these up into smaller pieces. Again, I'm trying to use up the diced tomatoes that I have from Walmart so that I can get to the good stuff. I switched to petite diced, but that's all newer cans, so I want to use up the older cans first. Alright. We'll put that aside. I'm going to grab a couple things of celery. This one is cracked here and there, so we're not going to use that. It doesn't look that great. So we're just going to grab one more stalk. Produce just isn't looking that great anymore. Alright, so I'm going to cut these up and get these with the onions, and I'll be back. Alright, I cut up the celery. I also found a can of vegetable blend, Green Giant. I had bought it by mistake before, so it's been sitting on my shelf, so I'm going to use that. But first I'm going to cut up the chicken. Because I had opened this one thinking I'd need it for that soup last night, but no. There was plenty of chicken, so we're going to get that cut up. And I'll probably use a little bit less ditalini because it was, I had added another half a cup to it from the recipe, and it was just a lot of ditalini. So I'm probably just going to stick to the 1 cup that it said. Yeah, 1 dry cup. I'm not going to add any extra. But I'm not even actually going to add any of that, actually, because this is going to go for the freezer. So I'm not even going to add any of the pasta to this soup, because this is going to be for storing in the freezer, and I can add the pasta when I'm ready. So we're just going to cut this up, and I'll bring you back when it's all cut up. All right, here's 2 cups of the chicken. I didn't use that other package because that chicken made 2 cups right there. So we are getting the Ninja ready to saute. I've got everything chopped up. I got the broth made. So it's just a matter of getting it all in the crock pot and going. I noticed that these are like really soft, so I'm not going to put these in. Let me see. I've never bought these before. I've just got them by mistake, honestly. But they're very, very soft. So to sit in the crock pot for hours wouldn't be a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these aside. Oh, and they got beans. What is that? Lima beans. I'm going to put these aside and use them in something else, because I don't think anybody's going to want that. So I'll use these for something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the corn in because I'm not opening a can of corn just to use a little bit of it. I'm going to just substitute the corn that I put in yesterday for the celery. You just use what you have, guys. It'll still come out good. So we're just going to substitute the celery for the corn. Because I just used that corn and green beans because that's what I had in a little container for leftovers. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to let this get up to temp to saute. And we'll be back. You hear that butter? Oh my. So we're going to saute. That's what I love about this Ninja. I've been using it more and more since the winter because I'm just pooped and not feeling good. And it's just quick and easy because you can go from saute and then you can go and right to slow cook for the rest of the day. It's one of the best inventions. So we're going to get all that. We're going to saute it for about 5 minutes, it says, and then add the garlic and seasoning. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And I got all my seasonings right here. Half teaspoon of paprika, half teaspoon of dried oregano, half teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of thyme. Oh, paprika is 1/2 tablespoon. Okay. And then 1/4 of a teaspoon salt. I don't ever measure my salt. I just dump it in. So it was 2 tablespoons of butter. I had a little extra butter because I just didn't feel like cutting it. It would only left like a 1/2 tablespoon left, so I just threw it all in there. Plus, I added celery to it, and the recipe only wanted you to saute the onions. So I figured, you know what, with that celery, just add another little 1/2 tablespoon of the butter, whatever I had left. So we're going to saute those up. About 5 minutes. And this smells so good, just like this. Divine. That's how much I love this stuff. So I'm going to show you my super cubes. I got 2 because they come in a 2-pack. This is a 2-cup measure. And it has, let's see if I can get the light on a little better in here. I don't know how much better that's going to be, but it tells you right inside here, 8 ounces, 16 ounces. So you could do 1 or 2 cups. And I got 2 of those. And they have the lids. Okay. And then I got 2 of these. These are 4 ounce and 8 ounce. So it's a 1-cup measure, and I got 2 of those. They come in a 2-pack. Really good price. So you can freeze in them, you can bake in them, you can, and it comes with the lid. So what I do is I put them on a cookie sheet and I lay them in the freezer all in a row. And when my soup is cooled down, I pour them in there. Or you could put it in hot. It's no big deal because they do go in the oven. So we've got 2 minutes left to saute. Make sure you move it around. So this isn't going to be the exact soup. It's going to be with celery added in. And without the corn and the green beans. And again, I got the main recipe from Cook, Clean, and Repeat. And it was in my other video. I just got finished downloading that other video. Uploading it to YouTube. And I did put the link in. I'll put it in this one too. But just know that I did some variations. I didn't use the rotel, and I didn't use the cayenne and the white pepper, because we don't do spicy foods here. So we're just going to let this keep. Okay, so we're down to the last 50 seconds. we are going to add in the garlic. And that's 2 tablespoons of the garlic. Kind of don't want to let it sit too long because I'm going to shut the saute off. Because this gets really, really hot, so we're going to stop that saute because it will keep going. And I'm going to add the seasonings, which is half a tablespoon of paprika. Again, I'm not really... I thought these were such a good idea, these spice things, but they don't hold much. And you have to keep refilling them. And these things don't work the greatest. They don't... The little cover don't hold them in. And then you have this section where you can sprinkle. But I find that I don't really care for them as much as I thought. So we're going to do dried oregano, a half a teaspoon. And then some of the garlic powder, thyme, and some of your big measuring spoons don't fit in this hole. And then you get to the bottom and you are feeling the grooves from the grinding part, because it's supposed to let out, if you push these things, it lets out a half a teaspoon each, but I don't ever use them. So we're going to get all that mixed up. That paprika gives it a color. Gives it that color. See, I even turned off my saute and it's just still going, which is good because you're not overdoing it. Now we're going to add the chicken broth. That's where you get that flavor right in here. This brings so much flavor. So we're going to add in the chicken broth. This is where I do differ because this is supposed to be made in a Dutch oven or a Dutch pot, you know, and you cook it on the stove top, but I'm just letting the slow cooker do its work for me. So we're going to get that in there, and I spilt some broth everywhere. Let me get a rag here. Clean up my mess a little bit. I spilled it all on the side of the... This thing gets hot. My goodness, when you saute. So we're going to get it back down to slow cook. And I'm going to do it on high so I can get it done. And let it have time to cool to get them frozen in the freezer. So we're going to add in the Rotel, which is really my diced tomatoes. So we don't do, I don't like Rotel. Oh my God, I didn't know I didn't like it, and I bought a lot of cans one time when I was stocking. Oh my God, it was so spicy I nearly killed myself with my mouth. I had to go, I just couldn't. So now I'm going to add in that 1 cup of, it's all I had left in that container. I wanted to double this recipe, but I just didn't have enough cream, and I didn't want to go downstairs just for 1 thing of cream. So we're going to just, plus, you know, you can only eat things so much and then you get tired of it. So I figure, you know what? I'm going to just make this 1 portion, like the recipe, and add the chicken in and freeze it. It's going in the freezer, and I can always make more another time. And I really, honestly don't have a whole lot of space in my freezer anymore. Oh, Jesus. I just dropped the spoon in there. Holy. Let me go rinse that spoon off. Because things that have like a sauce to it, I like to use a red spoon so that the staining is minimum if it does stain. Black or red, and I don't know if I have a black one in there. Definitely not using anything that will scratch my Ninja. Definitely not. I love this Ninja. Alright, So, the seasonings really take it over the top. And that garlic. So, it says if you're doing it in the Dutch oven, you can bring it back to a boil, add the ditalini pasta and cook for 10 minutes, and your rotisserie chicken. But since I'm doing it in the slow cooker, because I can't handle that heavy Dutch oven, we're going to let this cook for a few hours, and I'll bring you back. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you a little bonus. I took one of my Rubbermaid tag-alongs and a cover, and I'm going to put some leftovers in it that we had the other night. So, because we are not about wasting here anymore. I had leftover boneless ribs that I made in the Instant Pot. So we are going to stick those right in here. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. They had barbecue sauce on them. I'm also going to take a scoop of this mashed potatoes that was left. Now when you go, I'm going to throw a dab of butter on the top too. Now this is where I could have put those cute vegetables that I just took out of the can, but I don't have them. I did something else with them. So we're going to put the cover on it. So we got mashed potato. Oh, I gotta put a dab of, I gotta put a dollop of butter. Now I have leftover mac and cheese, but the kids will eat that. So let me get my butter. What I'm gonna put on there, instead of opening up a brand new butter packet, I'm going to get my Land O'Lakes garlic and herb, which is what I put in here anyway. I put some of that in the mashed potatoes when I made them. So just gonna throw some right on top here. Smooth it over the top. But you could just put a dab, like a tablespoon of butter, if you have a stick of butter. And we're going to put the cover on that. And I'm going to go get my vac sealing machine, because what I don't want is any air getting into here by any means. So we're going to put this in a vac seal bag. I don't think any air will get in there, but you just never know with these sides. These are old. I'm going to get, and I can reuse the vac seal bag up because it's not touching any food, so I'll be right back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. You can label the bag before or after, but I'm going to take it in this big bag. Now, I'll be able to reuse this bag over and over since no food is touching it. And it's really pushing down on the lid. I can see that. I'm hoping I don't break the container. Wow. It has really sucked the air. There was air inside this container because it sucked it right down to the... So now absolutely no air is getting into that. And it will last much longer. No freezer burn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to label it boneless pork ribs. And potatoes. Okay. And this is going to go in the freezer, and we will this is a meal for a lunch or for dinner, and no waste. No waste, guys. All right, guys. I had 4 minutes left. I just want to check my celery. Because I do not want it mush when I put it in the freezer pouches. The silicone. Oh, it smells heavenly. That is cooked to perfection. I unplugged it. It's got chicken. So I didn't add any noodles because I'm not going to add noodles until I'm ready to make it each time. You could add orzo, rice, any kind of noodles. So I'm going to let this cool down. What I'm going to do is take it out of the pot. Oh, this is hot. I'm going to put this over here, let it cool down. I'm going to slide this over, lay this down. I'm going to take this out. See how easy that is? It's so light. That's why I prefer this over my Dutch oven now. I will keep my Dutch oven in case I ever need it, but my hands can't handle that. So I'm going to let this cool down. And then I will put it into the silicone containers and show you what I do. All right, guys. So, it's cooled down enough. I'm going to start filling. I'm going to use the 2-cup measure because I think I'd want a bowl that's about 2 cups. It's that good, guys. It's that good. It's gonna be a little more than 2 cups, but that's okay. Just get it all filled in. Stuff smells amazing. These would be some beautiful cold weather soups. That's what we had. And I had some for breakfast this morning, and there's still more in the fridge. I'm gonna put this down here. It's still warm. I'm gonna put one more scoop in there. Yeah. I mean, look at the seasonings. I am not leaving anything in this pan. Just look at that beauty. And this is good just by itself. You don't have to add any noodles to it. It would make it a very low carb, very, very low carb meal with a nice salad. So I may not even put anything with that. I may just let them freeze like that, and when I do reheat it, I may not even put anything with it because it's that good you don't need it. So I'm going to put the lid on it. I don't need to cover it completely, like snap it in, because it's going to freeze. This is just so nothing gets into it. Yeah, maybe I will snap it. They just snap right on. That way, I'm going to get a... So I didn't even need these other ones. I'm going to get a cookie sheet. Lay it on the cookie sheet. And then we're going to pop these into the freezer until they get hard. Alright guys, so it's the next day and I pulled my supers out of the freezer. I'm not feeling that great. My body's starting to hurt. My head hurts. I didn't sleep well. So Lee's got whatever else everybody was catching. Test, negative for the COVID and all that stuff. It's just a deal with it and get through it kind of situation. It's going around. Everybody and their mother has it around here in Massachusetts. You just got to ride it out. Take Mucinex or whatever it is you got. Anyway, so I still have some soup from the other night, so I'm going to have that today. We're going to use these ones. I'm not going to mess with the smaller size. I am going to put some gloves on though, just because I don't feel like getting all icky. Got my back sealer out here. Put these away in the freezer downstairs. Take a nice hot shower and relax. Alright, we are supposed to get some more snow. Not much, but sometime this week. Alright, so this is what you do, guys. You get your back seal, your back bags, these supers. Look at that. Comes out perfect into a square block. You get out the right size back bag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take them all out. That way my hands get all goopy at the same time. A little bit of frost on there. But now you have a serving size for, this is 2 cups. And I wanted to do this now because my hands are hurting. All my knuckles are hurting. You know how when you get the bug and all your joints hurt? Well, that's how I get. So I try so hard not to get sick. But you just kind of see if it's going to fit in there. Find the right size bag or the right measurement. Alright. So you just get your bag. Hopefully your fingers are working. And I hope this fits. I don't know. No, it's not going to fit, so we'll get rid of that. I'll just wipe that down. So we'll go to the next size up. happens to be a bigger bag, but that's okay. To me, it's worth saving for a dinner when I'm really not feeling well. There you go. Just get them all in bags. Probably should get them ready ahead of time, because get a little bit of stuff on you. So what I like to do is I like to take my bag and just fold it over. Just like so. Fold the edges over. So you're not getting anything on the edges of your bag that might get up into the seal. So that's why I try to do all that ahead of time. Being very careful. Need one more. I'm not even looking to see if you're in range here. Hopefully you are. Feeling really bad today. But I need to get these out of the freezer because everybody's in and out of the freezer all the time. So there you go. And you just slide it in. Slide it in. Slide it in. Now, when I want some soup, I can take this out, put it in a pan, or you could even throw the bag into the, now you could take your gloves off. You could just take this bag and throw it in some warm water to defrost it. Freezes it. Perfect. No freezer burn. And when I want to have some soup on a day like I can feel it's going to be coming up, where I'm going to be just so bad sick, I'm not going to want to do anything. What's today? Today is 26th. 1/26/25. And I'm going to do chicken soup. And now this can go in the freezer for another meal. That's a whole nother meal. And if we all don't want, I don't want to cook for everybody, I could take all 4 of these out and we could have a meal with some breadsticks or this nice salad, or just by itself when you're not feeling good. This has so much flavor in it. I have some of these with my pasta fagioli base. I did it without the pasta. So, I'm not getting the carbs. And if you want to add a little bit of pasta into your soup, just throw it in there and boil it up. I liked this soup so much that I made some the next day just to do this. If you freeze it first, you could do these in these soupers with meatloaf. You could take this, throw the meatloaf in there, bake it, because these can go in the oven. And you could have individual servings of meatloaf. That one is the 2-cup measure, but there's also those 1-cup measures I showed you. So you could make up a bunch of mashed potatoes, freeze them in portions. Some veggies, freeze those, and make yourself a whole meal. I think this summer I'm going to do more of that. I'm going to go through my freezer. You know, I have packages of chicken drumsticks and things like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep some of the packages of meat, you know, vac sealed and frozen like I do, for things I don't know what I'm going to make. And then I'm going to take some chicken drumsticks, chicken thighs, do a batch cooking, and then do individual meals and freeze them. I don't usually do individual meals too much. Sometimes I've done them in the past. But lately, with me getting older, I think what I'm going to do is do more meals. Just got to find space in my freezer. Okay. So this was the last one. And there you have it, guys. I have a little plastic container in my freezer with all these standing up, and I have pasta fajoule. I have another creamy chicken soup, and now this chicken soup, because I liked it so much. But there you go. This is enough for a couple meals. And a way to utilize leftovers. And this vac seal machine was, I had gone through so many vac seals. I got the Food Saver one, I got the Economical one, and I could tell you I spent, in all my Food Saver ones altogether, I probably spent $1,000 with all my machines that kept dying on me. This four jars is higher quality. It was worth the price. It was, when they first came out, I got them buy one get one free, or half off, sorry, buy one get one half off. So I took advantage of that sale, and this one's still going strong. This is still going strong. So I still have the other one in the box I've never used. It's got the bag cutter. You take these off to put your cord to do like jars. And this one, I don't even know what it's for because I've never used it. I have no idea what that one's for. But yeah. And you can do Mylar bags with this too. I haven't done that yet. But yeah. There you go, guys. Go vac seal all your leftovers. You know, just, it's getting too expensive to throw food away. And this I made ahead of time, so when I'm not feeling good, I can just pull one out in the morning, sit it in a bowl of water to thaw out, and have it for when I need it in the afternoon. So I hope that helps some of you. Have a great day, guys.